I wanted to get to this. So this happened yesterday. Not that it's groundbreaking news, but we talked about this a few weeks back. I went on a bit of a rant on the show, if you remember, about a trend currently circling college football, and that is big-time programs saying, I'm too scared to have a spring game. I'm going to lose my team.
That's right. You took the whole segment. I didn't
I
even
did.
say anything.
I ranted and raved. I can't stand it. I think it's dumb. I think it's cowardly behavior. And you said, I can't wait for Dan Lanning to cancel the spring game to see what your reaction would be. And I said I would call him a coward, too. It's dumb. You shouldn't do it. It's an opportunity to get your program better. Well, Oregon started spring practice yesterday. I'm sure you were glued to all the updates of Oregon spring practice.
No, I know you were.
And Dan Lanning, he actually had a press conference with the media at like the normal podium. I'm like, hey, look at that. It's like the middle of the season. He sat down and he was asked the question like, hey, Dan, everybody's canceling their spring game. What are you going to do with your spring game?
Yeah, I think it's the best way for us to get better. We're absolutely going to have a spring game, play football in the spring game. You know, you just mentioned new faces. I think that's a great opportunity to create, Autzon's one of those places. When we have a spring game. It's a game day environment, creating that environment for those players, the competition that exists in that, and the, just our fans, what they bring to that, I think is a huge piece. So for me, it's the right way to cap off the spring. And as long as I'm here, we'll be doing spring games.
It's a no cancellation for us. We're not soft. We're not candy ass. We're whole milk here in Eugene, Oregon. We're going to play our spring game.
Nebraska.
We're not Nebraska. We're not USC. Look at these soft programs out here.
I almost put in the Magic Hat yesterday, Dirt's SEC ally.
Yeah. Who's my ally?
That's my guy.
Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel, not canceling
said the
either?
Same thing.
Good
he said,
for
I
you.
value the spring game. Why would we cancel it? It
Yeah.
means a lot to the fans. It's good time to develop us. We're playing a spring game. He said the same thing. And so that's an SEC team that's been in the playoffs saying, yeah, we're not scared. We're going to lose guys. I don't know if it's really going to go the way of more extinction than being played. I cannot tell you what that future is.
It's a pretty small number so far that have canceled.
But they're pretty, big name programs that have said, we're not going to do this. Maybe that grows. Maybe it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say, though, to be pro spring game, because I don't care about the spring games.
No problem with that.
You're going to lose guys no matter what. And you're going to get guys no matter what. Dan Hurley did an interview with 60 Minutes, and he basically said, I have half my roster already knows they're leaving, and they've been contacted to know what their next NIL deal. And the reporter was like, excuse me, half your roster? And he goes, yeah.
That's the way it works.
And that's the two-time back-to-back national champion coach saying that. So you can cancel the spring game, and I'll sit here and say, I get it. You don't want to display the talent and lose it. I could also just easily go the other side of that and go, you guys have staffs large enough to know who's where and who's eyeing what and how to communicate with who on the side to say, yeah, you want to play the spring game? Nothing really changes with this. Playing the spring game is not going to keep a player versus cost or, getting you a different player. You know who's going where and who's going to get paid. I don't know if that's going to change any of that.
No, and some of the stuff out of spring football is honestly, a lot of programs will push guys out too because there's other guys that enter the portal or there are guys that they see like, hey, you clearly haven't taken a step. You're not going to be a part of this team
100%.
anymore. And
Yes.
so a handful of the guys that end up transferring anyways are guys that the coaches are going to push out after the spring game. To me, it has never made sense. You don't have to be excited about spring games, watch spring games, care about spring games. The way that I would view it as a coach is simply it's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity, especially in places like Oregon. Like this isn't the case everywhere. One, because depth is not as strong as it is at bigger programs as it is at smaller programs. But also like the fan atmosphere, like it's an opportunity to play what feels like a legitimate game for the young people. There's going to be, 40,000 people at Oregon spring game probably. If the weather's nice, maybe even more than that.
You said sellout.
They're pushing it. It's grown every single year. Lanning has made this a massive deal. It's a big recruiting weekend for them. They got a bunch of 5-stars in who are watching their spring practice.
Isn't there a charitable
he's utilizing this.
to it for
Can of food.
Can of food to get in. That's all you got to take. Tickets are free. You take your family down, take your kids down. Like this has become an event for them. They use it as a recruiting tool. And I think loss in that a little bit is like, that's almost game day experience that young guys get that they can file away. Now, it doesn't mean because you're good in the spring game, you're going to be great next year. It's just an opportunity to get better. And why would you want to rob your football program of that? Because you're worried about losing your third-string corner if he gets an interception in the game.
Well, also, I would also say to that, too, like, Duck fan gets to go. It's basically free to go. It's a whole day of atmosphere. Like, people that went to Oregon, You get to show your kids or your family, like, oh, I remember this, remember that. Let's go to this place.
Especially if it's a good weather day, they parlay it in with usually with a baseball game afterwards. So you go check out the baseball team.
But the atmosphere and the program they've developed, I would argue that like they should, as a fan base, sell that out.
Yeah,
because the big ones around the country do, and man, what a look is it to have. Look at now the new Big Ten team that won the conference year one. They also sell it out west. Usually we're a laid-back, relaxed nature.
Yeah, we don't care. It doesn't mean as much.
It's largely what we have all been.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State fan kind of has that. They go, but it's not really that full. Jed Fish is hoping to get 40,000 or 50, I think he said. And I'm just like, good luck with that when I've seen the Husky spring game attendance.
No chance.
It would be a unique thing, I think, in the Pacific Northwest to have a sellout for a spring football game because it's not really been an area that's show that they care the level of some of those other places, which are usually in the South.
Yeah, look, I would have criticized him if he canceled it. I think it's a dumb thing to do. It's robbing your program of an opportunity to get better, and so I love the idea that Oregon's going to keep doing it. Dan Lanning says yesterday on the opening day of spring practice, as long as I'm here, we're having a spring game every year.
Also, did you happen to see this John Gruden beaver box?
No.
Oregon State sent John Gruden.
I've seen this. So John Gruden's getting equipment from college programs
yeah.
all over the country, and he does a video where he unloads the gear.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of nutria in there, but there is some sick.
Send him some
throwbacks.
sweet stuff.
Yeah, I'm just like, well,
just bring it back.
Did John Gruden pay $22,680?
No, he did not
represent that.
I can think of a radio host who did, though.
Sent awful emails, and he's getting rewarded with big prize boxes. Okay,
all right. Give me a retro logo, man.
Okay. All right.
Give me a retro logo.
Maybe the next time you send me an alumni donation.
Hey, can you chip in? NIL, man. It's the future of college athletics. We need your help.
Interesting.
To fund our future athletic programs.
We are on YouTube.
We are.
You got a Christmas package. He's got a football, hats. He's got a Letterman jacket. He's got poster boards. He's got fisherman hats. I mean,
he's got it all.
What did John Gruden do to deserve that prize box?
Be John Gruden?
I know a guy. I don't know him. There's a Beaver fan that lives in Hawaii that wears an Oregon State shirt every day. Every day. And he died day 1,945.
He's been doing it for years.
Every day. Did he get this?
Send that guy a box.
Come on, man. John Gruden? What are we doing? He got a helmet. He got a throwback Beaver football helmet. There's a million people more deserving of that Beaver prize box. But Gruden put it on his Twitter account.
It's on his Twitter account. Thousands of followers are now going to see that and go buy Beaver gear.
$22,680. I haven't gotten anything.
For nothing. Nobody even checked your diploma, too, when you got hired in the radio biz.
I get chewed out. Wayne Siegel starts to hate me. That's what I've gotten out of this.
Yeah. You wore a bag over your head. They were not happy with you. I don't think you're getting a box anytime soon.
I milked myself. I was wearing an Oregon State sweatshirt doing that.
You did milk yourself.
It's ridiculous. You got personalized golf balls. I guess I just need to send homophobic emails.
That's all you got to do. We'll reveal some text messages. Maybe then you'll get a care package from Corvallis.